The kids are growing more powerful and she won't hold on for much longer. Alan still refuses to return to the project and goes home, only to find Mara packing. She announces the kids have made a decision and they'll be living in the barn from now on. Mara also tells Alan he'll be in charge of bringing them supplies, not giving him the chance to argue against it. Later in the evening, the parents drop all the kids at the barn. Jill tries to convince David to stay with her, saying he's different. However, David leaves anyway. A few days later, Ben makes his way to the barn, determined to pick up his daughter. A kid blocks the way and Ben almost runs over her, but he stops his truck just in time. As he comes out, the children surround him with glowing eyes and force Ben back into the truck to make him drive right into a fuel tank, causing a huge explosion that instantly kills him. At the same time, Susan shares some worrisome news with Alan. All the other towns with blackout children have been destroyed because their respective governments considered them too dangerous. They didn't even evacuate the adults because the children would know their plans and stop them. Susan has been told to get out of Midwich and she advises Alan to do the same. A desperate Alan goes to the barn to try to reach an understanding with the children, but they just say it's their biological obligation to survive. As the kids try to read his mind, Alan begins thinking about an ocean to block them out. Mara asks Alan to make arrangements to get them out of town tonight, and Alan pretends to agree before leaving. Afterward, Mara notices that David is thinking about the dead baby and calls him out for having emotions. Nearby, George hides in the tall grass and gets ready to shoot the kids, however they find him first and force him to self-delete. Moments later, Susan and her team are packing up while the locals begin gathering on the streets with torches to riot against the kids. A few children suddenly block their way and their eyes glow as they make a woman drop her torch to burn her down. Soon the cops start patrolling the town as they announce a state of emergency, threatening to arrest anyone still out on the streets. Meanwhile, the other kids approach Susan in her office and make her reveal where she's hiding their dead sibling. The mere sight of it makes David very emotional, and as revenge, the others make Susan lie down on a table and force her to self-delete with her own scalpel. Not far from there, Alan breaks into a construction company to steal some explosives before